guys? Welcome to Kick Back and Chill. I'm your host, Dan YC, and we're the only show where you can kick back, relax, and have some fun here in Midtown, New York City. I'm super excited and pumped up because this guest I'm about to bring to the stage, the CEO of Gear to Wear Plus. He's an artist based out of Newark, New Jersey. And me and this brother go way back. He's been coming out with freestyles left and right, and this is his first interview, so I'm honored to have him at the function. Y'all show some love for Rush.
Chris,
what's going on, man? Peace and blessings, man.
Oh man,
Man, I'm more than honored.
Honored. How are you?
I'm well. I can't complain. First and foremost, gotta thank God. But yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. It's more than a pleasure to be here. I'm actually a little nervous, but
nah, don't be, man. I always tell me we just chopping it up. You here at the function, welcome. I gotta give a major shout out to Julia, man, because she was actually part of trying to get this all together.
Shout outs to Jay, man.
Yeah, shout out to Jay. And it's so crazy how we met, damn, it feel like, 5-7 years ago?
Yeah, listen, time flies like water, literally. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday, you know? So we were all together, now we're all, you know, moving and grooving, doing our own little things, but we're still tight. So definitely shout outs to Julia, you know, putting that together.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what? Let's just jump straight in. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, let's do it.
I don't even want to talk about the clothing brand first. I want to talk about the music first. Now, Rush.
But if I can.
Yeah.
The clothing kind of started off of the music in a sense. I've always played around with music as a kid, you know, just, I'd say freestyled. I never took it serious. The clothing brand came, you know, in 2020, you know, the world kind of stopped in a sense. So I was playing around, you know, rapping, freestyling, but that's where the gear to wear comes from. You know, it rhymes, it makes sense, kind of catchy. So I was kind of reselling things and acting like a person.
You a hustler.
Yeah, you know, in a sense, you know, that's how it started. So it was like, you know, I was getting clothes, sneakers, whatever, you know, trying to take what I can and then putting it out there. Oh yeah, this the gear to wear dude guys it, the gear to wear, you know, because it's gear to wear. And then eventually it got serious to where, you know, people started.
So somebody gave you the idea of the name.
I mean, it was just, you know, when the world stopped in 2020. Yeah. So it was like, we were just trying to figure it out. So I was just like, all right, but I sold sneakers as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. Like as a kid, you know, I took sneakers that I didn't, you know, want for myself, resold them, you know, the reselling game. There's definitely, you know, some wiggle room in there. So yeah, that was where my head was at in a sense. And then that's how the name came. It was eventually something I had to take serious. That was where the brand started, because I started the brand first. And then the music came later on. So, you know, it's all kind of like full circle, but it all comes back to each other, so.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And you know what's crazy? You only been doing it for a year and some change, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you listen to the music and you listen to the freestyles, you would never think this person been doing it for you. You would think he's been doing it for 3 to 5 years.
Yeah,
I'm kind of curious to know your creative process, if you could tell us that, you know, like, and is it hard to come up with a 16 nowadays?
That's love, honest. I appreciate you, brother. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a hit or miss. You might wake up one day and you might feel it.
Got a bunch of stuff to write.
And there's days where you'll wake up like, all right, yeah, I'm there. And then there's days where you'll wake up and it's just, I don't know where to start. I don't know, you know, but I will admit, I feel like I make better music by myself. I've tried to, you know, do the crowd kind of thing, you know, and I feel like I kind of get thrown off in a sense to where rather when I'm by myself, I'm focused. I'll 1, 2, 3, say I get the 16 down, I gotta finish it. Or I'll force it upon myself, but not force it to where, you know, you're forcing lyrics, but just force it on to where, all right, I gotta get this done. I care about it, you know, you care about it in this sense, so you want it to be good.
Which was the first freestyle that you did?
The first freestyle that I wrote.
Was it the Gear to Wear freestyle?
Yes, it was the Gear to Wear freestyle.
Wow,
yeah, exactly.
All right, yeah.
And that's how did that come about? I was trying to bring more awareness to the brand, you know? I was basically making clothes, screen printing, putting it out there, but at a sense, I felt like I could go farther. And you know, rap was always something that I kind of played around with. So I was like, let me just try it, you know, one day. And I was in the house by myself on a Sunday. I wrote, and I liked what I wrote. I was on YouTube, I was writing, I got somewhere, and I was like, all right, let me finish this, see where it goes. And then, I kid you not, maybe a week, 2 weeks later, you know, I hit up a couple of my buddies. I'm like, all right, let's try to get this video going. And I brought it to actually 2 of my good friends before I brought it to my man, shout out to Lavish, you know, and then the rest was history, I swear. After that, you know, it was something that I felt people were asking me for more, and I didn't have more. So I felt forced to work now. I'm like, oh man.
So it was kind of like, it was like a barrier, trying to push through a barrier that you didn't think was gonna be there after your first one.
There we go. And then, you know, once it's there, it's like, all right, yeah. And then, you know, people wanted more. I didn't have it, so I felt forced now to work. I'm like, all right, I gotta give them more. I gotta go make music.
Yeah.
And see what it does, you know?
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer that if you want people to come back, you need to have a good product or service. It needs to be hot. It needs to be something that's like, yo, I gotta come back.
Yes.
So when you listen to a song or listen to a freestyle, you gotta listen to the words. I feel like all the time, I'd be like, yeah, I heard your song. It was nice. Okay, but did they really listen to the lyrics?
Agreed.
That's what's gonna lead to the repeats. That's what's gonna lead to the shares, the forwards, the
There we go, exactly.
Because social media is all about engagement.
Yeah.
F the followers, F the numbers.
Amen.
The engagement.
There we
you have
go.
the engagement.
There we go. Exactly. I couldn't have said that better, because literally, numbers are numbers, cool. But at the end of the day, when you know you're doing something like music and you're interacting with people and they're really listening to your lyrics, they're feeling you. You know, they felt what you said. They understood how you felt in that moment. You know, so that's that engagement that you're talking about. That is gonna go the long way. You know, you're gonna go the long way with these people because they understand you in a sense to where it's like, all right, I like this guy. He's reading my mind. We didn't even meet. You know.
We can relate, yeah.
Exactly. We can relate. Once you can relate, it's yin and yang after that.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta shout out my favorite bar that you said on 3 p.m. at NYC. Don't get mad at me if I miss
No,
it.
you're
You said
fine.
something about I'm out in London with a light skin, making her look like Lauren.
Yeah,
something within that line.
yeah, listen.
I think that went over many people's heads.
Very, definitely.
I don't think they heard. I had to rewind the joint, right? So go talk about the 3 p.m. in New York City.
And that's
And then you
another
coming
one.
out of an Escalade and stuff.
And that's another one. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
3 p.m. came. I woke up on edge. I woke up. I heard the beat, and I've been, you know, cause it's a Drake beat. It's on one of Drake albums.
Yeah.
And I heard the beat. I'm like, yo, this beat is just there. One morning I woke up, I started writing, and I kept going. So that line, you know, I'm out in London with a light skin when she's looking like Lauren, how that came about in a sense, and it's like a little.
Was it hard to come out with that verse, that bar?
A little, but in a sense it came about by mistake. So the part that I like about it, I know you, like people, it flies over people's heads. At the same time, if you notice, it's like 3 L's in there. I'm out in London with a light skin when she's looking like, it's 4 of them. It's 4 L's in there, boom. And then on top of that, you know, not shading anybody because, you know, I love all kinds of women. I love all kinds of women. Exactly, but you know, Lauren London, very, very pretty.
High school crush.
Exactly, everyone's, you
crush,
know. Shout out to Nipsey, God bless. But you know, things like that, exactly. So it's like comparing someone in a sense, but not comparing, it's just look at how pretty she is, and then look at where London is, you know, being in a sense, I'm out in London with a light skin when she's looking like Lauren London. You get what I'm saying? So if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, it's still something you can understand later on, you know, once it's explained to you, you know? So that was one of those to where it was like, what did he mean? You know, whatever you wanted it to mean, you know, but we know what it meant.
I guess a bit. I want to talk about, you know, this body of work you have, Get to Win. Now you threw a baby picture up there, you know. Kind of talk about, you know this process, because this was your first body of work. You know, you was throwing freestyles. Now you're throwing in no features. Are you starting? When we gonna get some features out of you, man? Come on, talk to me about the project.
Listen, the features are coming. The features are coming. The features are definitely coming. 2024.
They're gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to.
Listen, love. But the features are definitely coming. I felt like, you know, with Get to Win, I wanted to kind of, you know, showcase myself, you know, in a sense to where it's like, all right, this is me, this is how I'm kind of trying to project what I'm doing, but then at the same time, I felt like I was talking to my younger self. That's where the baby picture came in. Because, you know, it's something that I always played around with, but never...
As a kid?
Not that young, but, you know, I'd say growing up, you know, you play around, you have your favorite
so
artist.
It tells a story of,
you know, so in a sense to where I definitely would say middle school, high school, I was having those conversations with myself, like, can I rap? I don't know, should I do it? So now that I'm older and I jumped off, you know, the porch, really just trying it, it's kind of like it's like a good sigh, like, you know, because it's like something that I always wanted to, but never did, and then now I did it, so it's like, all right, not the checklist is checked off, but it's more so like, all right, you have that experience. You know, it's not something you're beating yourself up about, you never did it, oh, I never really seen what the outcome could be of it. And then the songs that I made, in a sense, I'm talking to myself in a sense, but at the same time, I'm talking for people too, to where like, you know, if you relate to it, if you understand it, then you know, we're speaking, because it's a we thing. That's how I look at this. You know, it's a we thing.
Absolutely. Yes. You know, the vibe I get from you is like, shit. I feel like you be like, shit, I'm just gonna take the risk.
Yeah.
Like you really
Sometimes,
come off like that.
Sometimes
even
you
with your
have
skating
to.
videos, even with your skating, I'll be like, yo, is he serious? Is he
we
really
go,
riding down the
exactly.
goddamn railing?
And that's another, you know, kind of shift side to where people kind of still are learning about me, you know? Like I rollerblade. That was my hobby as a kid. I'd say growing up, you know, a lot
Are
of
you
people.
nervous to get on a rail?
I used to be, but now I'd compare that.
You don't even have a helmet. I'll be scared for you. I'll be on Instagram. I'll be like, God
I know,
damn.
man. I know, man. My mom gets on me all the time, but I swear, I'd compare that now to like someone riding a bike.
Right.
You know, because it's so easy. You know, practice makes perfect. And yeah, me and my buddies, we've done it for years. Like skating to me was my basketball to, you know, someone who really was playing and then took it serious. You know, some of my buddies, you know, they're signed. Like, you know, there's deals. You know, so to where I wanted to do that in a sense, but it kind of died down. I kind of just started doing it for fun. I always had the love for it, but then you know, I've broken my arms, sprained my, you know, ankles and all that good stuff.
And you still doing the damn.
Yeah, you know, so it's like, it's a, you know, ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's a hate or a love it thing, but it's always gonna be there, but.
Okay, I like that, I like that. Do you feel like, were you nervous to come out with your first freestyle? Because like you say, you're giving it a shot. You like, hell, let me just see what's going on. Because a lot of people, the reason why I say it's a lot of people in here, they hold on to so much content and music and they're scared to release it. I can understand. I am my biggest British crew. Hell, Kickback and Chill has a lot of stuff in the vault. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I get that.
But what was going through your mind before you hit that submit video button on YouTube? What was going through your mind? Because it seemed like a lot of people was rocking with it.
And exactly like you just said, when you kind of overbuild on content in a sense, I feel like because we are our worst critiques, you know, we're gonna be hardest on ourselves. I felt like when I made that, it was one of those, hey, you know what? Just like you said, take the risk. Because if I, let's say, made 5 more, now I'm gonna be so hard on myself. All right, which one's the best? Which one's the, you know? I felt like it was just one of those, all right, I'm here, let's do it. If it goes good, then let's keep going. If not, then all right, at least I tried, you know? Like, it's one of those, like, you shoot the 3, if you make it, cool. If not, you know, if you airball, cool. If you hit the rim, you know what you need to work on. So that was really what I was going with it, honest. And it did, you know, it did really well. It did really well to where it gave me that reassurance to, all right, yeah, like, get back in the studio, you know, make more music, keep trying, you know, you never really know. And then you take that, and then now you end up on Kickback and Chill, you know? So
thank you.
Look at things like that, man. Like
God is good.
God is great. God is great.
You.
And I couldn't be more honored, brother, honest.
Oh, no problem. Talk about, you know, your first time performing in person in front of people. What was your experience like?
Oh my God.
How did it go for you?
That, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I choked. That's exactly how it went. I was, you know, I'm rapping. I thought I had
and you
it.
say it like nothing. That's the crazy part.
Yo, because I forgave myself for it. I was so hard on myself. Shout out to Bola. Shout out to Bola, Miriam. She put together the first showcase that I've ever done. So without her, I wouldn't have been able to, you know, jump off the porch. I felt like people wouldn't have been able to see me.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to, you know, rap in your house behind a computer, but, you know, when you kind of set up and present yourself.
Get in the studio is
exactly,
like, that's
you
when
know,
the real.
people will take you serious, and it's like, oh, what's going on? So she put together a nice little showcase, you know, that everyone could come and showcase their talents and, you know, show the superstars that we are. So from there, I choked, but the crowd, you know, it was love in the building. So I wasn't too hard on myself, but at first I was very hard on myself to where I had to get back out and kind of like, you know, do better. But I went home, practiced, and yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking. I was nervous. I felt it in my voice, but then as I kept going and practicing, I felt like, okay, this is something that, you know, you can get easier. You know, it can get easier. You can ease into it, and then now it's something, you're just happy to do it now. Now you're just happy to be there.
Yeah.
So I'd say, yeah, it was definitely hard at first, very hard, to where you're more in your own head. But once you get out of your own head and you just let it flow, enjoy what you're doing, it'll just happen natural. People will just feel you, you know?
Absolutely. You know, as an independent artist, you know, in today's day and age, is always the question that remains. Should I get signed to a major label or should I remain independent? There's pros and cons to both. So I kind of want to know your take as you navigate your journey, you know,
Yeah.
with music.
All right, yeah, I'll agree with you. Yeah, there's pros and cons to both. I don't knock anyone that, let's say, you got the opportunity to have the conversation to get a deal. I don't knock that, you know, definitely weigh your odds out, you know, see your options. At the same time, I do feel like, you know, with what we're doing, we have to, you know, remind ourselves we're our hardest critics. We have to remind ourselves, you know, we have to show up for ourselves in a sense to where, all right, this is what I want to do, this is what comes with it, and, you know, if you're willing to stick it all out. So maybe a deal might be better for you, maybe it might not. In my opinion, in my sense, as I'm moving and grooving, when I came in, I would have thought, yeah, record deal, cool. Now I'm like, we could probably, you know, kick maybe a couple years or so, you might be able to do, in a sense, something yourself. Not everything, because, you know, it's a we thing, you definitely need a team, but you'll be able to do something. You'll be able to start, you'll be able to put yourself out there in a sense. So I've definitely moved away from the deal sense just because, you know, you can kind of, it's more fun working and trying to do things yourself, learning, you know, knowledge is power, knowledge is key. Every day, you know, you'll kind of just take it, see where it goes. And that's where I kind of moving and grooving, performing, seeing how, you know, the industry things are in a sense,
Right.
certain events. It's like, okay, you know, I can show up for myself. Like you're reassuring yourself as you
Right.
go and doing these things, you know, like, oh, this is doable. Maybe I can learn this, instead of, oh, nah, that looks too hard, or, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that. You know, we got to speak to ourselves positively. So I would definitely say, in my opinion, independent if you can. If you do get a deal, take it. You know, you never know where you might take that deal. Not where that deal might take you, where you might take that deal. Because, you know, it's all on you in a sense. Like, you know, you get that, fuel off, you might be able to take over the world. If not, then, you know, at least we tried.
Listen, Rush, we're gonna take a quick break because I know up next you're about to hit the stage.
All right.
I'm super excited, and we have a surprise for you later on throughout the show, all right?
All right.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. So my boy Rush is in the building, so keep it locked and stay tuned.